I'm 78 years old, and there's something I need to tell you while I still can. Something I learned too late, but that you still have time to understand. My entire life, I waited. I waited for the right moment, the right year, the perfect situation. And you know what I discovered? That moment never arrived, and it never will. When I was 25, I used to say, I'll travel when I have enough money saved. At 35, it was, I'll change careers when the kids are grown. At 45, I'll chase my dreams when I retire. At 55, I'll truly live when I have more time. Today, at 78, I look back and see a trail of wasted years, waiting for a green light that never turned on. What no one tells you when you're young is that life doesn't wait for you to be ready. It happens now, in this exact moment, while you plan, procrastinate, and prepare. Every later you utter is a piece of your existence that you voluntarily hand over to oblivion. My wife passed away 7 years ago. During our marriage, she would ask me to dance in the living room. Later, I'd say, I'm tired from work. She wanted us to go to the beach to watch the sunrise. Next weekend, I promised. She wanted to renew our vows on our 40th anniversary. Let's do something bigger for the 50th, I suggested. She didn't make it to the 50th, and I never danced with her in the living room. I never saw that sunrise. We never renewed those vows. These memories that could have existed are now ghosts that haunt me every night. It's not the things I did wrong that torture me. It's the things I never did, believing there would always be more time. You see, time is the greatest deceiver. It makes you feel immortal at 20, invincible at 30, still young at 40. Then, suddenly, you're 70. And you realize that the later you talked about so much became never again. The years don't warn you when they're about to run out. They simply slip through your fingers while you're busy making plans for when the time is right. I lost my father when I was 42. Our last conversation was rushed. A quick phone call where I promised to visit him next month. He died 3 days later. That next month never existed. I've carried this debt for 36 years, and it grows heavier with every passing day. Let me tell you about my friend Charles. We worked together for 30 years. He always said that when he retired, he would finally learn to play the guitar, travel across South America, and write the stories he kept in his head. Just a few more years, he would repeat like a mantra. Just a little longer, and then I'll really live. Charles retired at 65. 3 months later, he received the diagnosis. 6 months after retiring, he was in a hospital bed, holding a guitar he never learnt to play, looking at photos of places he never visited. Before he passed, he told me something I will never forget. I spent my whole life preparing to live, and I forgot to live while I was preparing. Do you know what the biggest lie we tell ourselves is? That today's sacrifice turns into tomorrow's happiness. That if we suffer enough now, we will deserve joy later. That there is a cosmic bank account where we deposit our renunciations, and one day we can withdraw it all with interest. That account does not exist. Every moment you sacrifice is lost forever. Every hug not given, every conversation delayed, every laugh swallowed because you were too busy or too tired, it all vanishes into the void. There is no way to get it back. There is no instant replay in real life. I had 3 children. I missed so many of their baseball games because I had important meetings. I arrived late to so many birthday parties because I needed to close deals. When they asked me to play, I'd say, "Daddy's tired, let's play tomorrow." But do you know what happens? Children grow up, and one day they stop asking you to play, and that tomorrow you promised turns into never happened. Today my children are adults. We have a polite, distant relationship. They respect me, but they don't truly know me, and I don't know them. Because when I finally had time, when I was finally ready to be the present father I always promised I'd be, they no longer needed me in that way. The window had closed. There is a cruel illusion that pursues people. The idea that control and security are possible. You think, I'll work hard now to secure the future. But while you are securing this hypothetical future, the present escapes. And when you finally arrive at that future you planned so much for, you find it empty because you brought nothing with you. You brought no memories, no deep connections, no essence of what makes life worth living. At 78, I have money in the bank. I have a big, empty house. I have professional achievements framed on the wall. And do you know what all that is worth? Nothing. Absolutely nothing when you are alone, when the people you loved are gone, when the opportunities to create something real have passed. Here is something no one prepares you to face. The weight of regret is far heavier than the weight of failure. I failed in business. I lost money. I made bad professional decisions. And you know what? None of that bothers me today. But the times I didn't say I love you to my mother before she left, the trips I cancelled with friends because I had deadlines to meet, the art I never created, the books I never wrote, the conversations I never had, that devours me from the inside. There is a question I ask myself every morning when I wake up. If this were my last day, would I be at peace with the life I lived? For decades, the answer was no. And yet, I kept procrastinating, waiting, promising myself I would change soon. Only recently, in the last few years, have I been able to start answering yes. But it costs so much lost time to get here. When you are young, time seems infinite. 30 years of life ahead seems like an eternity. But let me tell you a cruel secret. The years begin to speed up. At 20, a year seems to last forever. At 40, the years start to blur together. At 60, you blink and a decade has passed. At 78, I look back and I swear it was just yesterday that I was 40. Time does not slow down. You will not have more control later. You will not be less busy in the future. That is the illusion. I had an Uncle Robert who collected things, rare bottles, old coins, stamps from distant countries. He kept everything in pristine condition, planning to one day do something with that collection. He said that when he retired, he would organise everything, create a catalogue, maybe even a small museum. He died at 71. Do you know what happened to his collection? It was sold at an auction for a fraction of what he invested. Strangers bought pieces of his life without knowing the stories behind each item, without caring about the dreams he had deposited there. The life you are planning to live one day may never arrive, and if it does, you may no longer be the same person who dreamed those dreams. Your knees might not handle the hikes you promised to take. Your energy might not be sufficient for the adventures you postponed. The people you love might not be here anymore to share those moments you saved for later. I learnt something fundamental. Life is not made of grand moments. It is made of thousands of small moments that you need to choose to live fully. A breakfast without rushing. A conversation without a phone in your hand. A hug that lasts a few seconds longer. An I love you said for no special reason. These are the bricks that build a rich life. not the promotions, not the achievements, not the goals reached. Do you know the difference between being alive and truly living? Being alive is waking up, going to work, paying bills, fulfilling obligations, sleeping and repeating. Living is feeling. It is being present. It is taking risks. It is choosing experience over security. For 60 years, I was merely alive. Only in the last few years have I started to truly live. And that is my greatest pain, knowing I had so much time, and I wasted almost all of it. There is a scene that haunts me. My daughter was 8 years old and made a drawing for me at school. She was so excited to show me. But when I got home, I was on the phone, closing a contract. I signalled for her to wait. She waited 30 minutes on the couch, clutching that drawing. When I hung up, she had already given up and gone up to her room. She never showed me the drawing, and I never asked. That seemed so small at the time. Today I understand that it was in those small moments that I was losing my only opportunity to be a real father. Here is the hardest truth I learned. You will not get a second chance. There is no dress rehearsal. This is the only life you have, and every day that passes without you living fully is a day lost forever in the abyss of time. No matter how much money you have, you cannot buy back the lost years. No matter how much success you achieve, you cannot trade it for more time with the people you love. I know people who spent their lives building empires while their marriages crumbled. I know people who sacrificed their health for their careers and now spend all the money they earned trying to recover what they lost. I know people who postponed happiness for so long that they forgot what it feels like to be happy. And they all say the same thing: if I could go back. But you can't go back. That is the point. You only have now, this moment, this breath, this opportunity. And you are wasting it believing the lie that there will be time later. Let me ask you something, and I want you to be brutally honest with yourself. If you died today, would the people you love know how much you loved them? Would you have said the words? Would you have shown it with actions? Or would they be left wondering, imagining, wishing they had been more certain? Don't let the people you love guess. Don't save the important words for a special occasion. Don't wait for the perfect moment that never comes. Say it now. Hug now. Forgive now. Live now. Because now is the only thing you truly have. The rest is an illusion, a promise that life never made and doesn't need to keep. At 78, I learned that courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is doing what matters despite the fear. It is saying, I love you, even at the risk of not hearing it back. It is chasing the dream, even without a guarantee of success. It is choosing the experience over the security.